Hey, high levelers, it's Nat here, and I wanted to give the community back something that I think is pretty cool. I've actually just spent many hours putting this together, and it's what I'm calling a viral referral campaign. It's basically something that Dropbox got famous for when they first launched. They basically used it to get a ton of Dropbox customers, and in this case, I'm actually using it for people to share my free online community. And of course, with high level, their communities feature, I know there's going to be a lot of people using the community. And so basically the idea is to get people who join your community to share it with other people in their network. And so hopefully you would get, 3 more free referrals. And of course you can set the number to be whatever you want. And so in this case, when they get 3 referrals, then they are going to get a free gift. Now, in this case, I did not use the affiliate manager. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is it's a free community, and I didn't want to have people to go and sign up to become an affiliate just when they can basically slot their email address in and then send it out that way. And so I'll show you basically how everything works. But it's pretty cool, and I think you'll like it. So anyway, basically the idea is, of course, you would have your landing page. You can use that. And then at the end of your landing page, you have this tracking mechanism, whatever you want to call it. So it is $refer ID equals, and then the custom value in this case is contact referrer email ID. So that's a custom field that I sent up, I should say. Okay. I am also using a Google Sheet for this along with Pabbly Connect. I tried to get it done through webhooks, and I'm sure there's a way to do it. Obviously there is, but I'm just not super techy. And anyway, this is the way that I did it with the Google Sheet. This is the form that I'm using. Actually, it's a survey. This is page 3 of the survey because I'm actually vetting people to make sure they meet certain criteria. Obviously, you don't have to do that. But what you do need to do is put in a field. And again, this is the refer email ID that I just showed you 2 seconds ago. And it's a hidden field. And so basically, when somebody puts their email address into the end of the domain in that tracking mechanism, then it gets passed through this hidden field in the form or survey. The one thing to note here is actually, if you'll notice that the the custom field is referrer email ID, and yet I did refer ID. I just wanted to make it short as possible, just so it had one less word in it. Obviously didn't need to. And because I wanted to shorten it, instead of it being referrer underscore email underscore ID in the query key, I changed that to referrer ID. And so basically that matches this part, if that makes sense. Again, I just wanted to shorten the URL as much as possible. Otherwise, before it was that, if that makes sense. Okay. And so anyway, so once somebody fills out your form or survey, then of course it's going to trigger everything. And so these are the 3 custom fields that I created: the refer email ID, referral count. So this is using math operations in the workflow that I'll show you in a second. And in this case, I'm giving somebody a travel voucher as the free gift. If it was a PDF or a course or whatever, obviously you could put that link in there, or you could grant access through the as a bonus course or something like that in the workflow. But in my case, because it's actually a link, then I actually need to go in and manually place that link in. That's the only manual part of this whole thing. Depending on what your gift is, you might not have to do anything manual. Right. So anyway, these are the tags that I'm using. Obviously, we don't want to change them for your business, but SBO is the name of my community, or it's a shortened version of. And so SBO referral in this case is actually the tag that triggers one of the workflows. And the other 3 is just a tag letting them know that they've got 1 referral, 2 referrals, and 3 referrals, just so my own record, basically, so I can see, what stage people are at. Okay, some contact records here. I do want to point out here that some of these tags are referred by me because, of course, I'm using my email address as the test here. But this tag is actually one of the newer features from High Level where it's a variable. So anytime that, so let's just say somebody named Mike has a couple has referred a few people, it would say referred by whatever Mike's email address is, if that makes sense. And then if somebody named Terry referred somebody, it'd be referred by whatever Terry's email address in. So it's just cool. But, that way, when you look at the contact who was somebody who was referred to the community or to whatever it is you want to get referrals for, it would say referred by the referrer's email address. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. There's also a pipeline that I created here. So basically when they get their first referrer, then the referrer, when they get their first referral, the referrer is added to the first stage. And then of course, when they get their second referral, that moves to position 2 and then 3. And then basically at that point, I would actually manually drag someone to trigger the final automation, which again, I'll show you in a second here. Okay, so these first 3 are automated. And in my case, because I need to do something manual in terms of giving them their travel voucher, then I'm going to drag the contact record to let them know that, hey, your travel voucher is ready, if that makes sense. And again, if you were doing something that was completely automated, then you could automate this step as well. Just for my purposes, I'm not doing that. So I had some test workflows in here as I was monkeying around with different ways to do things. So you can ignore that. But essentially, there's 3 different workflows. One is adding a tag and sending it to a Google Sheet. Again, you could probably also do that with a webhook. There's the main workflow, which I'll show you, and then there's the sending the gift, basically. All right. Okay. So the first workflow is basically the form or survey in this case is submitted, and then they're going to add the tag. So they're referred by contact, refer email ID. So that's where I just showed you the contact records here 2 seconds ago. That's this tag here is a variable. And to get that, you can do the drop down and then use dynamic. So that's how you do that. Okay, so normally it's going to be standard, but the new feature is dynamic. So you would choose that and then put your contact your custom field in there. And then here is an if-else statement. Do they have a referrer or not? And in this case, the custom field referrer email ID is not empty, meaning that they do have somebody, there's an email address of the person who referred them, if that makes sense. Okay. So they go down the yes path if they have a referrer. And then here is where I am adding them to a Google Sheet. And basically, of course, this is a premium action. And, you would create the Google Sheet in your Google account and then basically select which column that they're going to be in, which is this right here. So they're going to be in column A, and it's pretty self-explanatory. This webhook I can delete just because I was trying to figure it out with webhooks, and I figured it out sooner with the Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect. But if you have an easier way to do it, then obviously do it that way. Okay, this is the main workflow, and it looks more confusing than it is, I guess, just because there's a lot of go-tos and stuff like that. But it actually is pretty simple. I don't like creating super complicated workflows, and of course, it's always a good idea to break them up when needed. But basically, when a tag is added, which I guess I should show you that first, the SMEO referral tag, that's what triggers this. So actually, let's go to Pabbly Connect is what I'm using. And so basically, I've just got 3 steps in this automation inside of Pabbly Connect. Obviously, you could use make.com or Zapier to do something like this as well. And so basically what's happening is there's a webhook in Pabbly Connect, and it's taking response C in this case, which was the first one that I had mapped it to. And basically it's just pulling in this. So every time I add, every time that somebody refers a new contact, the referrer email ID is placed in there, right? So of course, these are just all my tests. And then from there, so this is my location ID, and then I'm just mapping it from the previous step. This is the referrer email ID again. So it's all pretty straightforward there. And then this one here. So basically this is the contact ID of the person who is the referrer. And so you do need to map that from the previous step here. That was a little tricky, I guess. And actually one of the trickier parts was when I was connecting Pabbly Connect, I was connecting my agency account and not selecting my sub account because they both shared the same name. So that was one of the things I screwed up at. But anyway, and then it's, so step 3, so the second one of lead connector, because, I should mention initially, the first one is I'm searching the contact. So I'm just trying to find out who is the contact associated with the email address, who is the referrer, if that makes sense. And then the third step is basically finding the contact ID of that person and then adding the tag SBO referrer. SBO referral, I should say. And so that's where that tag comes into play. And then that's where the math operations come in. And so basically I'm just adding 1 to the refer count. So just add +1, and we're updating referral count, which is one of the custom fields. And then here, I mean, you could probably do this in a simpler way, but I just wanted to make sure that, it was dialed in. And so basically what's happening is it's checking how many referrals do I have? Is it 1, 2, or 3? And so again, basically the referral count custom field is equal to 1, or referral count custom field is equal to 2 or 3, right? So these are all the custom fields. And so if it's 1, I'm going to add a tag for SBO referral 1. I'm adding it to the pipeline, which is the pipeline I showed you. I'm sending the first email, which basically just says like, hey, great news, you got a referral, your first one, you're one of, a third of the way down, and 2 more referrals to go. Keep going, basically, right? So I'm, saying, hey, look, you got a referral, way to go. And, you got a couple more to go. So I want to, congratulate them and tell them to keep going. You're almost there, kind of thing, right? And then from there, I've got a wait step of 3 days. And the reason I'm doing that is because they might get a referral right away. Let's just say that they post it on their, Facebook account or Twitter or X or whatever it is. And if they get a referral number 2 right away, then basically the tag would get added, SBO referral. Oh, actually, that just made me realize that I need to remove that tag as well. Okay, so I just added right here, remove the SBO referral tag. I figured that was the best place to add it. So basically, when it gets added by Pabbly Connect, that triggers the workflow, but then it gets removed. And the reason for that is because when they get referral 2 or 3, we need to add it in again to retrigger that. So see, I'm learning from myself here. It's good to go through the process one more time and, just catch little errors that you made. So anyway, where were we? We're waiting 3 days. And the reason for that is because if they haven't gotten referral 2 or 3 right away, then I want to send a couple reminders. Okay. And so we have another if else statement. And basically it's the same thing. If they have referrals 1, 2, or 3, and basically if they have 2 or 3, it's just going to send them back up over there. But essentially if they still have 1, then I'm going to send them a reminder. Basically you're re-incentivizing them, right? The sooner you refer, the sooner you're going to enjoy the, your gift essentially, right? And then from there, I'm going to wait 5 days, and basically same thing. I want to check how many referrals do they have, because maybe they took action there. They sent some emails, or they posted again, and that they were able to get referrals. So maybe they've got 2 at this point. And so if they did, then it, basically goes back up there, right? So we're starting the process up, referral 2 or 3. But if they did not, then I'm going to send them a second reminder. And this is the 3rd email total, basically. It's basically saying the same thing, but hey, way to go, don't give up and stuff. So you don't want to send too many emails, but essentially there's 2 reminder/motivation emails for each of the, 1 referral, 2 referral, if that makes sense. And then, so if they get a second referral, and because the SBO referral tag was removed, they can now enter this again. And so they're going to go through, they're going to get another referral added to them. So now that they have 2 referrals, it's going to wait a minute, it's going to check. And so then from there, it's going to move them to the referrals or 2 referral stage of the pipeline. It's going to remove the first referral. It's going to add the referral 2 tag, and then basically goes through the same process of sending them like, hey, congratulations, you got your second referral, keep going type of thing. And then the same thing, waits 3 days, sends them a reminder, waits 5 days, send them another reminder. And then, if they got 3, then it just goes through the step again. So then they get 3, et cetera, removing them to the 3rd pipeline stage for the 3rd referral, removing referral 2 tag, adding 3. Oh, and then we're basically saying like, hey, congratulations, you did it. You got your 3rd referral. In this case, because I have to manually do it, I'm going to say, hey, we're going to be in touch within the next 48 hours to give you your gift. And we're saying, hey, even though you got your gift, if you want to keep referring people, then you can do so. And then I'm sending myself an internal notification to give them their thing, right? So-and-so just referred 3 members. So go give them their voucher right away. And so basically at that point, I'd go to the pipeline, wherever it is here, drag them from the 3 referrals stage to this, and then basically, so they're in that pipeline, and they're now in the gift sent. And I'm going to wait 2 minutes. And the reason I like to have a wait step is if for some reason, if I drag someone to the wrong stage by accident, and in this case, it doesn't really matter in this pipeline, but I always just do that for any manual dragging action. I always have a wait step just in case I drop them and I didn't need to, and then drag them back. So anyway, and then basically I say, hey, look, here's your thing. And we've got the unique custom field for the travel voucher. So yeah, so that's it. The other thing which I haven't showed you is, of course, there needs to be a page in your funnel which tells them basically how to do things. So it's going to say, like, you would have the instructions like, see where the squiggly lines is? You just place your email address and then you send it there. So I've got that page, but this whenever I'm not showing it to you in this one. But anyway, that's it. That's the overview of everything. If you're interested at some point, I can make a version to give it to everyone. So just let me know if you're interested, and I can send you a link to send you that snapshot. If you have any ways, any ideas where you think I can improve it, just let me know. I know not everyone's going to want to do it the premium action to Google Sheets and through Pabbly Connect or Zapier or whatever. I tried doing it through Find Contact and Search Contact. Literally, I tried so many different ways. But I was getting an error message that basically you could only have one contact per workflow. And I was trying to figure out, okay, because the new lead, the new contact who signs up comes into the workflow, and I was trying to find the referrer from that, and it was over my head. I literally tried forever and ever. I was using AI with a ChatGPT to figure things out, and literally it took me hours and hours and hours. So I finally figured it out with Pabbly Connect and Google Sheets, and I figured good enough for me, it's done. But if you have any ways to make it better, please let me know. And if you're inspired by this, that's cool.